Morning. Okay, today, year 9, we're going to be looking at factorising. Okay, now factorising is the opposite of expanding. You did some expanding last week. Okay, just a quick reminder on expanding brackets. If we had that, to expand it, you would multiply 4 by x, which is 4x, and you would multiply 4 by 5, which is 20. Okay. If we had letters as well, so if we had 2x and then 3x minus 4, still multiplying, you would multiply those two. Now that is 2 times 3, which is 6. X times x, remember, gives us x squared. You would multiply 2x by minus 4. Well, 2 times 4 is 8, so 2 times minus 4 is minus 8, but minus 8x, because remember we have got an x by here. Okay, so that was expanding. The trick with expanding brackets is to multiply by whatever is in front of the brackets, okay, for single brackets at least. Now, factorising is the opposite. Expanding, you multiply to take things out of brackets. Factorising is all about dividing, and the aim is to put algebra into brackets. Now the trick is you won't know what to divide by. Okay, and that's where having good knowledge of times tables will come in handy. So if we look at an example then, nice and easy one to start us off. If we had 12x plus 18 and I wanted to put that into brackets, and I've got to find something that 12 and 18 can both be divided by. Okay, now there's lots of things that 12 and 18 both divide by. Factors, common factors. 1 is a common factor. 2 is a common factor, 3 is a common factor, but the highest common factor, and that's what we're looking for, the highest common factor is 6. So we're always trying to divide by the highest common factor. Now, it could be a number, it could also have some letters as well, we'll get onto those shortly. So the highest common factor is 6, and so to put into brackets, we divide both of these by 6, and because we're dividing by 6, a 6 goes at the front, okay, outside of the brackets. Then we've got the dividing to do. So 12x divided by 6, that would leave us with 2x. 18 divided by 6 would leave us with 3. There you go, that's been factorised. If we do another one, similar, not the same, but similar. 15x minus 25. So we've got to look for the highest common factor of 15 and 25. There aren't many common factors. The highest common factor is 5, so 5 goes outside. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3, so 3x. 25 divided by 5 is 5, or minus 5, because it's minus 25 divided by 5, and that's been factorised. Okay, so the aim is to have as much as you can by here, so that needs to be the biggest possible number, the highest common factor, and if we've done it properly, what should be left in there should be the smallest possible. In other words, if you look at 3 and 5, there's nothing that they can be divided by. If you look at 2 and 3, there's nothing that they can be divided by. So we want the biggest that we can outside, which should leave us with the smallest that we can on the inside. So they're straightforward enough, just dividing by a number. Where it gets a little more tricky is when you have to divide by letters as well. Now you were timesing by letters last week. Remember, x times x made x squared. Well, now you need to divide by letters. Now then, how would you know if you need to divide by a letter or not? If we have a look at an example, something like, let's go for that then. Now if you look at how that question is different to the two above, the first term had x's in, the second term didn't. So the only thing we could divide by was a number. The first term had x's in, the second term didn't. The only thing we could divide by was a number. If you look at this question, the first term has got x's in, let's tidy that up a little bit. The second term has got x's in as well. If they've both got x's in them, we will need to divide by x as well. So divide by a number and possibly a letter as well this time. So let's do the number first. 12 and 15. The biggest number that goes into both of those, well, that would be 3. So there's definitely a 3 going outside, and I'm definitely going to divide by 3 there as well. Okay, we won't actually do it yet. I'll do it all in one go shortly. Now, let's have a look at these x's. Well, what is x squared? X squared really is x times x. And we've got an x there. So how do you divide by a letter? Well, it's not really dividing. You can think of it as just sort of crossing letters out if you like. But the rule is you can only take away, you can only put them outside the front if they both have it. So this first term has got 2 x's in it, x squared, x times x. This second term has only got 1. That means I'm only allowed to take 1. Okay, so I can put an x outside as well, just x though. I'll show you some others where you can take x squared, x cubed, but for now just an x. So we're going to take 1 away from there and 1 away from there. You've got to take equally from both. That's why I couldn't take x squared outside, because the first term had x squared in it, but the second term did not. Okay, right, so we've got to divide by 3 as well, remember. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, and that first term does still have an x left over. Divide by 3 is 5, but remember that x is gone. When we divided by x, it went out the front. So that has actually been factorised. Okay, now you can check it by re-expanding it. That would make 12x squared, and that would make 15x. So nothing's gone missing. Okay, it's all still there, just in brackets. Let's have a look at another one. So if we went for 15x cubed this time, take away 20x. Looking at the numbers first then, 15 and 20, the highest common factor is 5. So we'll have a 5 at the front, and we will be dividing by 5 in a minute. Okay. Now with the letters, let's have a look. We've got x cubed, so that's x times x times x. So how many can we take? We've got 3 here, 1 here. We have to take equally from both, so I can still only take 1x. 1x from the first term and an x from the second term. We only write it down once at the front because we only took 1. So what would we be left with then? 15 divided by 5 is 3. It was x cubed to begin with, but we took one of them out to the front. We divided by x. We've just got x squared left. 20 divided by 5 is 4. The x that was there to begin with has gone. We divided, it's gone at the front. So that's finished. This one's going to be a little bit different. Okay. The highest common factor first then. Highest common factor of 16 and 12 is 4. Definitely a 4. divide by 4, divide by 4. You don't need to write this in every time. Okay, underneath here, get a bit messy. Let's have a look at these letters. Right, we have x cubed, x times x times x, x squared, which really means x times x. Now, we have to take equally from both, but we want to take as many as possible. So how many can we take this time? We've got 3 here, 2 here. We can take 2 from there, 2 from there. But remember, x times x would be neater if we wrote it as x squared. Okay, x times x is x squared, so what are we really taking away? We're taking, or dividing by, we're dividing by x squared. What would we have left? 16 divided by 4 is 4. It was x cubed, but remember we took 2 of them. We're just left with 1. It was 12 to begin with. We divided by 4. We had an x squared. We've divided by x squared. They are both gone. So there's nothing left here with letters. They've gone outside there, look. Okay. Now if you've done it properly, but yes, we've got some x's left there, but at least one of your terms should have lost all of its x's. Okay. If I still had some x's lying around here, look, then that would mean that I didn't take enough to begin with. I should have taken more. So one of the terms should lose its x's altogether if you've done it properly. Right, last one for this little video then of single bracket factorising. If we had 24 x squared y plus 16 x cubed y squared. Well, that looks really horrible, but it's okay. Just do it in little baby steps. Right, we've got 24 and 16. Lots and lots of common factors. The highest common factor, though, is 8. So definitely an 8 going by there. Divide by 8. Divide by 8. In fact, I'm going to move that over there a little bit to make some room for what comes next. Right, what do we have? We've got x squared and a y, x cubed and a y squared. Okay, let's have a look at the x's first. We've got 2 here, we've got 3 over here. The most I would be allowed to take is 2. So 2 from each. If I'm taking 2, I'm really taking x squared. Then with the y's, let me change the colour. We've got 1 here and 2 there, so I can only take 1. But it's 1 from each, so let's put a y outside as well, but only 1. And then work out what's left. So it's not 24. 24 divided by 8 is 3. There was x squared there. Both of them have gone outside, so there's no x's left here. There was a y there, but we took it outside, so that first term is just a 3. Second term, it was 16, but we divided it by 8, so it's 2. We had x cubed. 2 of them went outside, but there's still 1 left. We had y squared, but 1 of them went outside. There's still 1 left. And that would be fully factorised. And for single brackets, that's about as tricky as it gets. Okay, so the method really works every time. Just follow this, look at the numbers and work out the highest common factor. Then look at the letters and work out what is the most letters you can take from both terms. Okay, take that outside, then work out what's left. You might want to write it out like I was doing underneath to start with until you get a bit more used to it. Once you've done a bit of practice, you'll get a lot better at taking letters out the front and seeing what letters are left inside. So hopefully that's been helpful. Good luck on your worksheets.